You are now listening to the J Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay!
Yo, what is the word, people? Welcome to another action-packed edition of the J Porks Experience. I'm J Porks, with me as always on the other side of the glass, making sure there's a well-oiled podcast machine every week. Check these notes here. What's this guy's name? Nobody. Every week is nobody. We've got some stuff to get to, but first I'm going to get to the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business. First of all, there's concertconfessions.com for all your live music, news, and reviews for the fans, by the fans. And we're going to stop right there because I got to talk about something. The latest confessions on Concert Confessions would be the Offspring and Bad Religion at the Stone Pony Summer Stage on Friday night. I was there. I'll tell you about that in a second. Also, the anti-folk revival tour in Drop D with Filter, Helmet, and Local H can also be found at concertconfessions.com. And if you want to tweet at Filter and ask them how the cookies were baked by our very own concert chick of concertconfessions.com, you can tweet at them and ask them. They said they were good. That's cool that we have people that go to shows and bring people cookies. But I want to talk about a show I went to. And that was at the Stone Pony Summer Stage at Asbury Park. And that was Offspring and Bad Religion. And that was Friday. You've heard me talk about... I've spoken about the Stone Pony Summer Stage before. I've told you about the dreadfulness of the Stone Pony Summer Stage. Now, in Asbury Park, New Jersey, there's a legendary venue called the Stone Pony. It's a little indoor, probably maximum 500 people fit in there, maybe 1,000. Doubt that it's that much. Anyway, inside, the walls are covered in signed guitars by, everyone from Courtney Love to Dean Ween to My Morning Jacket Guy to, Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes play there all the time. It's very old school feel. They actually have a cigarette vending machine in there. Honest to God. It's how old school it is. So great place. But behind the Stone Pony, they put a fence around a parking lot, and they have the balls to call this a concert venue. It's a flat ground, much like not unlike the Williamsburg waterfront, where it's just a slab of concrete and a stage. But in Asbury Park, we're walking in, and as you're walking in, you have to walk around the block. So they basically give yourself an extra half hour when you're walking in to make sure you see your show. And it was Offspring, Bad Religion, Pennywise, and the Vandals. Now, I think we pulled up around 6 a little before. We were thotting around in the parking lot. But I'm at the Muni meter thing. It's not a Muni meter. It's the thing that you pay for the parking. And some girl next to me is like, "So what time did the bands go on?" I said, "Well, I think the Vandals just finished up and Pennywise is going to go on." She said, "Oh, I missed the Vandals? So you're telling me I missed the Vandals? Fuck. Oh my God. I missed the Vandals? Wait, who the fuck are the Vandals?" But I tried not to laugh. So then we start heading over to the venue as we hear Pennywise is on. We got there late. I don't need to make up excuses. Anyway, I walk into the Stone Pony. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned I was going to buy tickets to this show, and for an extra $25, they have this press box seating that they'll give you for an extra $25 to your ticket, even though, you don't actually have to be pressed to get it. Okay. I was under the impression that this little section would be in the front or past the railing in the front or on the side of the stage or something. What they did was, imagine if this large slab of concrete, imagine if this is a football field. Just put that image in your head for a second. And the stage is in one of the end zones. Now you would think if you were going to put up bleachers where people who are sitting on the bleachers can see over everyone on the floor, you would think you would put them up, I'm not saying in the other end zone, but not on the 50 fucking yard line. There's bleachers in the right smack dab in the middle of your standing room only section. So the people who don't like to be in the front, who don't like to get killed and get beer tossed on them down in the front by the first 100, 200 people who are camped out over there, the people who don't want to go over there cannot secede to the back because there is no back, because you have bleachers in your way. It's blocking half of the standing room. I've got a camera from long fucking distance, so I can be far back. But if there's going to be stands in my way, that's going to be a problem. And furthermore, Ticketmaster, I don't know if it's Ticketmaster or Asbury Park or both, but when I wake up in the morning and I get a last minute ticket alert for Bad Religion Offspring at the Stone Pony Summer Stage, and I keep getting last minute ticket alerts, that makes me feel like the place is undersold, not oversold. There was no movement there. You could not walk around because these bleachers were smack dab in the middle of the standing room. Now, not only is that in the way, but that's about 100 square feet that people can't stand. So they're all moving up. When Bad Religion was on, me and Pam in the new Pam wagon, I didn't even notice she had a new car because that's the kind of friend I am. During Bad Religion, it's like we were standing in a spot where you couldn't even see the stage. Because all these swampy Jersey fucks are tall. So the plan was when Bad Religion goes off, some people are going to leave. And we're going to head in there. And another thing, these bleachers blocking my fucking way are still $25 the day of the show. It's a $46 ticket. It's a $46, and listen, I don't care. I mean, the money really doesn't matter to me, but this goes out to the guy who commented on my post that called me a whiny little bitch and told me to stay home next time. I didn't pay $25 for this ticket. I didn't pay $35 for this ticket. I paid $46 and fees. And you want me to pay $25 to sit in some fucking bleachers? Those look like the 100 most boring people in the fucking world. And I'm always down for seats. So Bad Religion was going off. And we had a plan. We're going to slither our way. We're going to slither our way down to the front for the Offspring. That's what we're going to do. Because we're gangsta. So, I don't know, somebody passed by. Somebody was going to the front, and we just followed them. And people let us through. And next thing you know, we're about 5, 6 heads deep in the front, waiting for the Offspring. There's crushed beer cans on the floor. A beverage comes flying across the crowd, hitting in our direction. A cold beverage drips down my leg. And before the Offspring goes on, I start to notice that people are getting packed in down here. I turn to Pam and I say, We are going to die. 'Cause people for the Offspring like to mosh and they like to smash into each other. And that's exactly what happened when they kicked off the album. Now, they played Smash in its entirety, first of all. So when they kicked it off, I turned on my camera and I hit record and I lifted my arm up as high as I could and I said, "Fuck it, let's see what I could do." Next thing you know, I am getting flung around like a rag doll in the mouth of a hungry pit bull. Boom, boom, I'm getting tossed left and right. I used to I used to be bigger and not as easily tossable. So I had to shut down recording because I was getting killed. And then Bad Habit started. And then when when the Offspring jumped into Bad Habit, I like that song, so I'm gonna try to record it. By the end of Bad Habit, it was just, you know what? Let me take my camera down, hold it in both my hands, and pray for dear God that this thing survives tonight. Because that's what it was. Being flung left and right, flung to the front, hitting people, saying I'm sorry, because, I didn't instigate anything. And you know how they have those little circles? Like, a bunch of shirtless guys make a circle and start slamming into each other? Well, I don't know at what point it was, but somebody tossed me, and I flung back to try to escape the wreckage, and I noticed that there was an absence of people surrounding me. And I turn and I'm in this fucking circle, and I see this 250-pound guy, not like as in fat, as in just big fucking guy, just monster truck, heading right towards me, and I just I like slid out of the way and he slammed into somebody else. I gotta tell you, I'm not about that life. I am not at all about that life. So then I start thinking, okay, maybe I can get flung forward. If I get flung forward, this would work. So it was before self-esteem. They played Smash in its entirety, but they skipped self-esteem and they saved self-esteem for the end because they were going to end their Smash set with self-esteem. By the time self-esteem happened, I had found my way. I was about one person back from the railing. Basically, my arm could touch the railing, but I didn't want to be a dick. Oh, and this is, I can't believe I forgot this. Right before the Offspring started, uh, every time I'm at a show, here's the thing. I don't usually, you know, you know how I'm a huge proponent of the recreational use of marijuana to be legal and all, but at the same time, I'm not bringing it in, risking my show ticket over it. Fuck that. I'll get in and meet some nice people. The problem is, I'm in fucking New Jersey, and these people are assholes. But this one lady, this older lady, pulls out a joint. She's like, "Hey, you want a party?" Okay. When I hear the words, "Hey, you want a party?" I don't usually think tiny joint from Reefer Madness. It was one of those you see on the commercial. It was a tiny little skinny joint of some generic weed. I was very appreciative that she shared with me. At the same time, when somebody says, "You want a party?" I think I'm turning around, you got an 8-ball and a bottle of Jaeger, I don't know. A party, I'm thinking you pull out a bag of mushrooms. A party would be like pull out some fucking angel dust, like my weed guy who drove me home the other day all dusted up. But that's another story for another day. I really wish that was part of my humor, but it's not. It was just scary. So we smoke half the joint, and she's like, "Here, you can take that for the morning, sweetie." Like, yeah, okay. So I clipped it and I put it in my pocket. So now I got that. Now I'm getting flung around, and I'm getting flung around through Smash. Smash is being played, and Smash is what's happening to my body. And by the time self-esteem happened, I was in full recording mode. So I got self-esteem. I got can't get my head around you. I got kids aren't all right. I got pretty fly for a white guy. I got all that on tape. By the staring at the sun, I got all that on tape. Me and Pam had been together in the pit, which by the way, I've complained and I'm gonna continue to complain about this Stone Pony shitty stage. But it's not. I mean, I had fun. I don't feel cheated. I didn't leave the show like, oh fuck. I wish this would have happened. I wish this would have happened. It all worked out all right, but it looked bleak. You can put the bleachers in the back of. If you move those bleachers 50 feet back, it's not going to bother anybody. And whenever you're never going to hear this again, but I'm going to say it. Too many porta potties. I know, right? Who's ever heard that? Who's ever heard someone complain that there's too many portable bathrooms out of context? Way too many. Way too many. $25 for the press seating. Press, they look bored. Furthermore, so we got an idea for the next time we go to the Stone Pony Shitty stage. The idea is to not go. Because first of all, if I didn't buy tickets to the show when I lived in Asbury Park, I would just fucking go park in the parking lot and enjoy every show. The idea that this is a concert venue is absolutely sickening to me. And the Offspring were done, we were walking out of there, it was like 10:23. Because the Stone Pony inside had a late show on a Friday night. Offspring Bad Religion wasn't enough for them. They had a late show. Who is it? Fucking Red Cross? So me and Pam started thinking about other ideas for Stone Pony Summer Stage, and that idea would be not going. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you how. There's a hotel. Well, there's a couple of hotels over there because it's Asbury Park, it's the Jersey Shore. There's a hotel over there called the Empress Hotel. Now, the 3 times I've been to Stone Pony Summer Stage, I look to my left and I look up and I see people hanging out from a balcony enjoying the show. I saw that for Social Distortion. I saw that last time I saw the Offspring there, and I saw that last night. So I start thinking, what's up with this hotel? Because like I say, I've got a long distance camera. If those people are enjoying the show from up there and not paying for a ticket, in the room I could drink my supermarket price beer. I can not get searched, and I could not drive home well, I don't drive, but I could not worry about getting home afterwards. Oh, by the way, the Punk Summer Nationals tour was sponsored by Uber, and if I didn't have enough things blocking my view, Uber set up a bunch of fucking umbrellas so you couldn't fucking see a damn thing. No, we don't need umbrellas. The umbrellas to mark off where the Uber thing is, put it by the fucking entrance. I mean, I just want to go around and talk to all the venue architects and break down what people want. Because I'm not the only one. Anyway. So we left. And we're driving down the street. And I look up to the 5th floor at this same hotel, actually. That I didn't know we were passing it at the time until I looked at the name. And I see this guy hanging from the balcony screaming obscenities to somebody across the street. And he's holding a beer funnel in his hand. And it was right then I said, I gotta find out what's up with this hotel. So I Googled it, and I was reading some Yelp reviews. And the first one says, I would never stay at this hotel. It's this transient, gay friendly hotel with a gay bar downstairs, and people don't. And we couldn't sleep. People were up all night partying in the rooms adjacent to us. People were up all night partying. Word? Where do I sign up? This sounds like my kind of hotel. It's a transient hotel. There's gay people here. I'm down. Wanna know why? Because if you want some good drugs, you want to be in the same room with a bunch of people who have sex with people of the same sex. Trust me. You say gay people, I say party animals. Don't need a dick in my ass to party with them. Just need some dough. But, alright, so this Empress Hotel. Now, there's gotta be. I saw prices ranging from $100 to $200 for the night. Depending on how many people you get in the room, we get 5 people, and if it's $200, 5 people, that's not so bad. And the idea would be is to watch the show from the balcony, drink, smoke, party, and then afterwards just stay partying. Dude, the place has the hotel has a bar on the first floor, non-stop partying, and Wi-Fi. What? I'm so in. I'm actually, this afternoon, I'm going to call that hotel, and I'm going to see if there's a way to book that specific room. It's probably more than one, but that specific room that you can see Stone Pony, the stage from the best. Because then if I'm up on the 5th floor, I don't have to worry about the fucking New York Knicks fucking standing in front of me. And speaking of that show, we're gonna go one more thing on this show. I posted my words, photos, and videos at concertconfessions.com. I don't like calling them reviews. They're not reviews. They're just concert experiences from me to you. And all of these screenshots were a struggle. So if you see something good, you better know that I tried really hard for that. But I noticed there was a comment. First of all, the guy from sonicawareness.net, he's like, here's the set list photos and some videos of all 4 bands. And he left a link. If you're going to leave your link on my post, you should link me up in your post. I asked him his thoughts on the bleachers, and he didn't answer me. And then somebody who said that their name was Chris, who is, there's no email, there's no nothing, said, and I quote, "Wow, what a whiny bitch. Stay home next time." I'm a whiny little bitch. I'm not the one who. I mean, really, I'm the only one who's complaining that there's a thing that's 50 feet high blocking my view. I'm the only one mad about that. So I wrote to this kid. I'm like, dude, it's not a $25 ticket. It costs $46 in fees to stand in a parking lot. Get the fuck out. You're probably one of those swampy Jersey fucks who goes to shows just to get drunk. How many websites do you write for? How many podcasts do you have? How many bands do you work for? If you're anything like you sound by the comment, you're one of these assholes who likes tossing beer on other people. There is no way that the bleachers only bothered me. I've only been to this venue 3 fucking times, and one thing I know. I'll be at the Empress Hotel next time, watching from the balcony, staying away from you pituitary retards. Nobody normal would think I'm wrong here, but hey, your taste says that much if Stone Pony Summer Stage is your go-to venue. Before you comment, do me a favor. Sorry, I'm a crackhead. Before you comment, do me a favor. Go Google some big words, make it sound smart, impress some people. There's a first time for everything. It's funny because earlier in the day I was explaining to one of the kids, Matt, that I work with about trolling, and he's like, "What is that?" And then I came home and some guy was trolling on me. So I had to hit him. Oh, and by the way, if there's any parody bands out there who want to do Weird Al type stuff, I've got a great idea for a song. We'll do it to REM's "Fall on Me," but it'll be "Don't Troll on Me." Don't troll on me. I've written the lyrics already, like for the bridge and the verse. Trust me, it's awesome. See a comment in the message board. All right, I'm really done with that. So where was I just? Oh, I'm still in the beginning. Lollapalooza happened, but you know, if something big happened, we would have heard about it by now. Don't mind me. I'm recording this on Monday only because I'm out of unemployment. I have to actually work, so that's bothering me. Okay, so contentconfessions.com for all your live music news and reviews for fans, by fans. And when you're there, click the Amazon ads, buy stuff. You're gonna buy stuff anyway. We've got Christina Rocks, Hang the DJ, 89xradio.com, every Sunday morning, the time warp, 8 to noon on 89xradio.com. I wanted to listen. I woke up late. Problem with working Saturday nights is that I can't get up early Sunday morning. But she's always got some good stuff. So check her out and check out our website, Christina Rocks with no H. And you could always go to the AndyDeerShow.com, for all your Deer Network podcast needs. That's the Tyler Kale Show, the Andy Deer Show, which is the flagship show. Smooth Operators with Tyler Andy, and of course the J Porks Experience. And the headlines are always powered by Annie Quiet. TV on the Radio announced a new album called Seeds, and you could listen to 3 recently debuted songs that may be a part of it. Relive Beck's great week. He was on Colbert. He was with Jack White, and he released the partner album of Song Reader, A Week in the Life of Beck. You can watch Gary Newman descend into darkness with the I Am Dust video, directed by another of Newman's musical prodigies, IMX. And what year is it? Okay, this is really happening. Party like it's 1999. Stream new songs from Limp Bizkit and Slipknot. LOL is all I gotta say to that. But from what I hear, this is funny. So I'm gonna click it, and I'm gonna open it, and I'm gonna hope it opens. Okay, I was under the impression I was gonna read it to you. I'm not gonna read it to you because something's going on with my web here, and it's not letting me open it. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna break for these technical difficulties, and we'll come back after this.
Hey everybody, it's Andy from the Andy Dare Show here. Just want to say that I am super proud to have the J Porks Experience be part of Dare Network. And if you want to keep my little podcast network completely free, all you got to do is go to theandydareshow.com, look on the right-hand side of the page, and you'll click on the Amazon banners for all your Amazon needs, and you'll tip your cap to the J Porks Experience and all the fine broadcasting here on Dare Network. Also, be sure to follow Jay on Twitter at JPorks, Instagram at JPorks, and jporks.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for listening, and back to the J Porks Experience.
And we're back. Alright, I got that article loaded up now. I don't know what was going on. Party like it's 1999. Stream new songs from Limp Bizkit and Slipknot. As written by my buddy, Reverend Justino. Your calendar may read August 1st, 2014, but the internet wants you to party like it's 1999 today, as both Limp Bizkit and Slipknot have unleashed new music upon the masses. With a fall tour of theaters set to kick off next month, Limp Bizkit is giving away a free download of their latest single, Endless Slaughter. The song is a hodgepodge of styles, drawing influences from the likes of Ween, Guns N' Roses, Eminem, and Stone Temple Pilots, while sounding like the band who brought riots to Woodstock 15 years ago. You can get a free download, they don't even need your email address, by clicking here. And don't actually click on my face, but click on the link that I'm going to give you in the article. As exciting as a new Limp Bizkit single is, Slipknot have far more to prove with their upcoming fall release. Having lost two members since their last release back in 2008, the band is streaming a track called The Negative One via their official website. A classic comeback track with all the tricks one would expect from the masked men from Iowa. The first listen is free. If you want to hear the thunderous track for a second time, you will need to give some of your personal information to the band. You can access the stream via the official Slipknot website here. Again, don't click on my face, but I will give you the link. Both bands are expected to announce details of upcoming albums soon. LOL. And yeah, that and your headlines. Those are your headlines powered by Annie Quiet. I've got two more things for you. First of all, Rolling Stone is reporting, and Rolling Stone has changed up their mobile, not their mobile. They've changed up their website. Neil Young is urging the boycott of non-organic cotton. Quote, I have taken the steps to remove sales of non-organic t-shirts and other products that damage the earth from my concerts and my web stores. This cotton picking motherfucker right here. No, but Neil Young wants to boycott some. Everybody's gonna boycott things. Young wrote, I vow to speak up and do what I can to, and in all caps, protect Earth. Young then provided the bullet-pointed list of scary facts about cotton production, which he notes is almost 5% of the Earth's cultivated land with its crops. Quote, cotton is second for most pesticide use of all crops, and it uses 25% of all of its petrochemical-based pesticides, fungicides, and herbicides globally, he says. The Environmental Protection Agency considers 7 of the top 15 pesticides used on cotton in the United States as possible, likely, probable, or known human carcinogens, and a bunch of words I can't pronounce. These chemicals absorb into the soil, which can affect nearby crops, get into water supplies and rivers, and affect many life forms downstream. So Neil Young, not only making great music, not only recording albums in Doctor Who's call box with Jack White, but also protecting the earth one cotton field at a time. Neil Young if you need him. And in news that, most people, a lot of my music journalist friends aren't really fans of, Thurston Moore has formed a new band called, I don't know how hard it was to think of this name, the Thurston Moore Band, but it's Thurston Moore from Sonic Youth, Sonic Youth drummer Steve Shelley, as well as James Sewards and My Bloody Valentine bassist Debbie Goog. Goog? Their first performance is set for August 19th in Amsterdam. Now, you may remember, Moore released his last solo album, Demolished Thoughts, in 2011, and he also released an album with a metal supergroup called Twilight in 2012 before the self-titled Chelsea Light Moving album. Chelsea Light Moving was really cool. So there's a track called Detonation here. And he'll be at Riot Fest in Toronto and in Chicago. And they'll be at Hopscotch Music Festival in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's all in September. That's Verbicide magazine has that. I like Verbicide. They like the Meat Puppets. Alright. So what else is going on, peeps? Nothing. Nothing is going on. I usually when I'm recording this, usually something happens on Twitter that I get to like tell you, and I get to be like, "Hey, look what happened," but nothing's going on here. But I did find my name on a Coke bottle. That's cool. I saw Jason on a Diet Coke. I put that shit on Instagram. Okay. Here's one for you. Enemy Enemy Magazine, New Music Express tweeted out the other night. Original Nirvana drummer Chad Channing says he would be up for a band reunion with Dave Grohl as the frontman. Stop that now. We're really going down that road? I can't even take I can't even take credit for it, but I read a comment that said, "Yeah, that's only because Chad Channing wants to get off from CVS or whatever day job he fucking has." It's a true story. I don't want Dave Grohl singing in his own band, let alone singing Nirvana tunes. He doesn't got the voice for that. Oh my god. And I just want you to remember again, folks, if you want to beat your wife and drag her out of an elevator, just remember, you will not be allowed to play football for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You won't be allowed to play football. And I know if I ever do something wrong in my life, I'm just going to mention God at the press conference and be absolved of my sins. And if you read the Sunday New York Times, I didn't because I didn't have $40 to buy it. But the Sunday New York Times had an advertisement for Leafly. Leafly is it's an app and a website where you can explore and discover the strain of marijuana you are currently smoking. And it's weird that they would have an ad in the New York Times, but they did because I told you the New York Times spent this whole week advocating the recreational use of marijuana. They said enough already, stop turning people into criminals. Let's just regulate it, let's tax it, let's make some money. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan to me. So on Sunday they had an ad that showed this guy on these steps and it's like Bill prefers, you know, smoking a light sativa for his MS. And there's this chick jogging and it's like Molly prefers to smoke a Jean Grey instead of, whatever pills she had to take for her cancer or whatever. It was so domesticated, and it was just say no, but no spelled KNOW, like no, like knowledge. So just say no. Think about when I was a kid, it was just say no, drugs are bad. We've totally morphed it to just say now it's just say no. Just know about it. And on the bottom of the page, it's like before you make a decision, you should know the ins and outs of things. So that got me thinking about an article that Leafly posted that November 2014 is going to be a very big ballot for legal cannabis. Now there are 4 states that have it on the table for medical. Well, the 4 states I'll just read it. Why don't I just shut up and read it? Oregon. Oregon's liberal attitude towards cannabis, combined with a thriving medical industry, makes the atmosphere ripe for a quick changeover to recreational sales. They already have more than 130 medical dispensaries and a canna connoisseur momentum that pushes the recreational movement. To add to that, 57% of the population in Oregon supports recreational legalization. If you're an Oregon resident, you want to throw your support behind Initiative 53. Basically, in Oregon, they are growing their own weed, and It's all good in Oregon. They just need recreational. Alaska. That's right, folks. The only problem Alaska could face is their lack of a current dispensary system or major regulations already established. 55% of Alaskans support legalizing cannabis in a taxed and regulated system. If you're an Alaskan voter, you can sign up. Washington, D.C. That's right, you read that correctly. I'm reading it. The District of Columbia, our nation's great capital, has submitted a ballot measure, Initiative 71, to legalize and tax recreational cannabis. Washington, D.C. has a surprisingly liberal political scene despite being embroidered in the political frying pan. They legalized gay marriage in 2009 and medical cannabis in 2011. And they've permitted medical dispensaries, albeit only a few, in the years since. With decriminalization taking effect earlier this month, D.C. might seem like a shoo-in, but only if the federal government doesn't step in with a veto. Sign up here to get involved. And Florida. Florida recently legalized limited use of medical marijuana cannabis extract. But they're going to have it's a medical bill. 88% of Florida voters are in favor of medical cannabis. 88%? That's like the amount of people in Florida that voted for George Bush. But the real, out of these 4 states, Oregon, Alaska, D.C., Florida, D.C. is not actually a state, out of all 4 of these places, one of these sticks out to me. And that's Washington, D.C. That's a game changer. If in first of all, Washington, D.C. is the place where the mayor got put in jail for smoking crack, served his time, got out of jail, and got reelected. That's the town we're dealing with. Like, you hear Washington, D.C., you think Lincoln Memorial, Washington Monument, yada yada yada, you think all that stuff. You guys have no idea what goes down 2 blocks from the White House. Once you get out of that little area of the capitals, that place is like fucking the worst parts of all Brooklyn, the worst parts of Philly, downtown LA combined. It is all of that. Crack was invented in Washington, D.C. Also, the Port Authority has a bus that goes right to Washington, D.C. Probably takes about 2 hours, maybe a little more. If I'm 2 hours away from legal marijuana, I can promise you that I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. a couple of times a week. Hell, I would fucking move there. Because out of all the recreation, like Colorado's awesome. Colorado's amazing, but it's also very far. And I've also got other drug addictions that I don't have medical insurance to cover that I need to be in the vicinity of my neighborhood to keep going. So if Washington, D.C. was going to be a place where I can go into a weed store, buy some pot, and walk out, that would be great for me. And if anybody knows of, like, any lists that I could sign to help move this forward, let me know. Like, if you're somebody who advocates the legalization of recreational marijuana, and you've got better ideas, like ways that I can help spread the word, holler at me. Because I'm definitely down for that. Or as the kids would say, I'm deaf down for that. Obvi. And again, I didn't buy the Sunday Times because I didn't have $50 on me. But I will find it. I will find a copy of it. Would be an absolute game changer. Okay. I've spoken for a long time. Alright, I'm going to give you Yeah. I'm going to give you the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business before I get up out of here. And it is, of course, as always, concertconfessions.com, where I was born and bred. For all your live music, news and reviews, for the fans, by the fans, check out the Offspring and Bad Religion, the Stone Pony. Check out the Anti-Folk Revival Tour in Drop D with Filter, Helmet, and Local H. Also go to theandydeershow.com. It's for all your Deer Network podcast needs, whether it's Andy Deer, Tyler Kale, myself. And when you're at Concert Confessions and when you're at the Andy Deer Show, I encourage you to click on the Amazon ads and go buy stuff. Because you're going to buy stuff anyway. You know what you can buy me? Buy me a mic stand, because I'm holding the mic in my hand and it's annoying. You can always go to Antiquiet. That's your source for quality. The headlines are always powered by Antiquiet. And you can go to ChristinaRocks.com, hang the DJ. She's got some news for you. And she's got a cool throwback alternative show on Sunday mornings. Alright. Are we good? Oh, did you have something to add? Oh, you don't, because this is a one-sided thing. Okay. Till next week. Whiskey, weed, and Warren Zevon. Motherfucker!
This has been the J Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.